So good evening and welcome guys to another Sip and Learn session. I am so excited for this, our final session of 2020. And my name is Mary Moshakwe Adeyemi and I am the founder of viSHEbility. I am a purposeful, passionate and people-oriented person who has the opportunity to exude those characters in my profession as a risk manager at one of the leading global investment banks in the world, as well as in my work in running viSHEbility, which is a social first organization that is working hard to improve the outcomes for Black women in the marketplace through inspiration, coaching, and community. We've been running viSHEbility now for just going on 2 years, and it's been such an exciting experience, just seeing how women come together to help themselves learn and grow and share and build each other up. It's a really exciting time. So this evening, we're going to be running a fantastic session led by Coach Aaron T. Aaron, titled 10 Things Your Dream Needs from You. And I'm really excited about this session in particular, because I just think that in this season, you know, we're all planning ahead for 2021. It's been such a challenging year in 2020. And I just wanted us to make sure that we're not just dreaming, but we're also strategizing, and they're not the same thing. And that we're really thinking about not just what we want our dreams to yield to us, but what our dreams actually need from us to be able to come out into fruition. And so Aaron T. Aaron is a certified John Maxwell coach, a trainer, a teacher, a speaker, and a convener of conferences. He's a passionate entrepreneur who uses both his practical application of proven methods and his entrepreneurial experience to really equip aspiring business owners with the personal skills that they need for professional and business growth. Aaron has vast experiences delivering workshops like the one that we're doing today, lots of seminars, keynote speeches, personal one-to-one coaching sessions as well. He has helped many, including myself, produce success stories through coaching individuals and families, including young children. Aaron is also a singer, a songwriter, a gospel artist who has released 2 albums and leads worship across the nations and tours regularly. And, you know, a little bit of trivia, myself and Aaron actually met singing together at church. And I was also featured on one of his music videos called Your Name Be Praised. So definitely check that one out. And so with that, I'm going to pass it on to Aaron to just take it away. So thank you, Aaron, for joining us.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
How is everybody doing? You can use the chat box. Hopefully I can see that. Let's see. How's everyone doing, and where are you watching from, or where are you connecting from? Whilst you do that, I want to say a big thank you to Mary for this opportunity. Thank you for having me. And I'm just hoping that I'm able to say something that can make some sense today, that someone can find really useful. So I'm still waiting to how you're doing. Good, thanks, and blessed. Good stuff. Just reading, doing great. Joining from Watford. Good stuff. Blessed and connected from Essex. Okay. Yes, I do like a good chat. I like feedback. So in one word, something I do a lot, anybody who's been on any of my calls, I like people to give gratitude. So what are you grateful for today? Let's do that quickly. One thing you're grateful for. One thing you're grateful for on a day like this. What are you grateful for? I like to ensure that we can switch things back to gratitude. I know you may have had an interesting day, but we can still find something to be grateful for. All right, grateful for life, grateful for family, grateful for health. All right, grateful for good health for yourself and your family. Good stuff. Let's read 3 more and I'll shoot. Grateful for completing the work you wanted to get done. Okay. All right, thanks for indulging me, guys. All right, so what I want to talk about today is something I believe is really key, and I've coined as 10 things your dream needs from you. 10 things your dream needs from you. As much as we spend time, I'm a person of faith, so please forgive me if you hear me talk about my faith from time to time. As much as we spend time thinking about what we want from God and our dreams and things like that, especially at a time like this, everybody's beginning to get sensitive, you know. People are beginning to prepare for the new year. As much as we spend time thinking about what we would like God to do for us and our dreams, I want you to also realize that your dream your emerging future needs something from you. It needs things from you. You and I need to realize that God needs things from us also. Your dream needs something from you also. Your that thing, whatever you call it, that you want to become, actually needs some engagement from you. It's not enough for you to kind of just sit back and build this image of what it is that you want, and then just hope that it shows up. You've got to actively participate, and that's the word, participate in the process, in that process, that whatever that dream is also needs something from me. So wherever you are, I want you to write down whatever your dream is. Not in the chat box or in your notebook. It's not that kind of day to try and read out what your dream is, but I want you to make sure that you've written something. What's the dream? What's the dream? Write it in your notepads, and when you've done that, I want you to put a yes in the chat box. Write your dream. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even in a year from now? What's the dream? Now write that on a notepad, and once you've done that, please just put a yes so that I know that we're there. Nicole's grateful for the university library being open so she can study outside her flat. Good stuff. All right, so what's the dream? If you've done it, write it in your notepad and come back here and just put a yes. Just want to make sure that we're flowing together. Have you written your dreams? Anybody? Written the dreams down? What's the dream? It's a reminder. Thanks, Amaladi. It's a reminder of the dream. I know most of you have been engaging with it possibly already. What's that dream? Because as we go into this lesson, I'm going to be bringing, thank you. As we go into this lesson, I'm going to be bringing, I want you to get a picture of that dream again, right? So this is that dream we're talking about. Whatever you've written is what we are talking about today. Yes or yes? Good. All right. So that dream you just wrote down needs something from you. It needs something from you. Now, beautiful. I've got all ladies here. So think about that dream that you just wrote down and follow me. Think about that dream you just wrote down as a relationship. Okay? So I want role play. We're gonna do this together. I want you to think about that dream that you just wrote down as if you were in a relationship with that dream, right? So if you're in a relationship with your dream, so let's think about relationship and just follow me. There's some kind of method to my madness. So let's think about it as a relationship. And the best kinds of relationship typically that every one of us would aspire to is that kind of relationship. No, actually, let me go back this way. Now, has anybody ever found themselves in a relationship that feels one-sided? Use the chat box. Have you ever been in a relationship that feels one-sided, where you are doing everything, you are showing up, you are making the calls, right? How did you feel about that relationship? Let me read some comments. How did you feel about that relationship that felt one-sided? Let me read from you. You got rid of him quickly. Good. Who else? Who else? Exhausted. Yep. Okay. Diminished. I think that's what you're trying to say. Okay. I want you all to really think about what you're saying, because in a few minutes, we're going to have to use the same words. So you felt like you were doing all the chasing and he had to go. You needed to walk on you. Good. Someone says neglected. All right. I love that particularly. So you see, look at how you all felt or appreciated. Look at how you all felt about a relationship that only one person was doing everything. And I want you to think about your dream as if you're in a relationship today. And with all that I've just read, definitely that kind of relationship wasn't a good relationship. In fact, literally, that relationship is doomed, right? The best relationships is where there's a giving and there's a receiving. Would you agree with me? Where there's a giving and there's a receiving. Would you agree? I'm guys, I'm in the chat box. I like engagement, right? Where there's a giving and there's a receiving. Good stuff. Where there's that ebb and flow of that energy back and forth, back and forth. And so today I would like to share what, in my opinion, would be what I consider 50-50 business. I like that. What I consider will be 10 things that your dream would need from you. 10 things that your dream would need from you. I think it could be more than that, but this is something I've stayed with for a while. And I think the first thing, that dream you wrote, that relationship with your dream that you just wrote down in your notepad, would you agree with me if I say the first thing you expect from a relationship, you expect from a dream is commitment? Anybody agree with that? Number one, commitment. Commitment. I know God can do all things. I know all that, right? Commitment. So you all agree. Your dream, that stuff you wrote on your notepad, needs your commitment. Your commitment. Remember how you felt when it was all one sided. But that dream you wrote down needs your commitment. Let's explore it further. If you think about the best relationships, like you said, we would like to be in a relationship, a marriage, a union of two people who come together, who love each other, who are committed to each other. And when we're fully committed, it's a singular commitment, right? It's singular focused. Our dream needs us to be committed to it. In other words, our dream needs to know, as we go on in our life, in the pursuit of our dream, wait for it, it's coming, that we're not about to leave it for the next deal. How many of you got that? Today, you find a lot of people, you can't always be looking for the next deal, the next shiny object, the next thing, always looking for the next thing to jump on. In a relationship, you wouldn't like if your partner was treating you that way. So why are we doing this with our dreams? Why are we jumping to the next thing? So many people, as a coach, I hear this today. Some of my clients are doing Mary Kay. Tomorrow they're doing MLM. Tomorrow they want to sell coffee. Another day they want to do this. How do you think the dream would feel? How do you really think your dream would feel? You can't always be looking for the next thing. You can't always be looking for the next thing and the next deal. You can't be once. You can't listen. You can't be jumping from one idea to the other, and straight away you drop your dream just like that. Boom. Right? Many of us are jumping from one program to the other. It's this today, it's this tomorrow. It's project management today, it's business analysis tomorrow. The same people are jumping into cybersecurity. Can you see what we do? It's Mary Kay today, is MLM tomorrow. And many of you, if you're really honest with yourself, you've joined programs that don't serve you. Probably 5 or 6 various things, throwing you in different directions. If you're one of such people, if you'll be honest, let's hit the chat box. Let's hit the chat box. How many of you have found yourself in that? I've been there also. Come on, thanks. At least Pearl is being honest. Tammy, we're not shaking tables here. We're just saying, we're just having a conversation, right? We're just all having a conversation. You know, how many of you are jumping from one thing to the other, jumping from one cost to the other, jumping from one discipline to the other, jumping from, we're just jumping. But you just said earlier on that you felt neglected, that you felt it wasn't good for you, and you kicked the guy out. Can you imagine how your dream is feeling? Just imagine how your dream is feeling. And the thing is, when you live that kind of life, you become the target of everything out there. That's why your internet feed is always showing you the next shiny thing. Because even your artificial intelligence knows that you would always be interested in the next program, the next coaching this. And can you see how you are attracting courses, attracting things that come across like they are opportunities? Because you haven't been focused and committed to your dream. Ladies, your dream requires from you your singular commitment. The other thing, I think, because of time, I'm not even sure how long I have. I've got a mastermind for 7:30, so I really need to drive this quickly. The other thing I think our dream needs in this area of commitment, if we say we are committed, is that we are committed with our life force. What does that mean? It means that we're committed, listen, with your time, with your talents, and your treasure. When I joined in earlier and spoke to Mary, she is in Lagos. She's had to do everything I know what internet can be like in Lagos. She's had to do everything humanly possible to make sure she has the right internet service, right, to be able to host this meeting today. Your dream, you don't go into your dream half-heartedly. You have to be committed with your time. You have to be committed with your talent. You have to be committed with your treasure. Show me your account and I will tell you what your real dream really is. Let me spend 5 minutes looking through your bank accounts. Okay, good. Let me spend 5 minutes looking through your bank accounts and I can tell you what your real dream really is. I can tell what you're really invested in, what you're really spending time on and spending money on. Right? Go ahead this week and just really look at your bank account. Many of you, your dream is Starbucks, and yet you don't have a share in Starbucks. For the amount of money you spend drinking coffee, yet you don't have a share in Starbucks. But you say this other thing is your dream. The amount of time you spend with your makeup products, and you say this other stuff is your dream. Can you imagine how your dream has been feeling? You spend so much time and money on makeup. You spend so much time and money on coffee. We haven't started. You spend so much time. Listen, your dream needs your time, your talent, and your money. Your time, your talent, your money, your life force, everything on that dream. You have to, you don't just kind of bring some of yourself to the dream. No, you commit everything to the dream. And I've always said the only thing your dream wants from you is this. I need all of you to write this. The only thing, exactly, your hairs and your lashes, right? Competing for your dream. Competing for your dream. The weekends you're spending in the salon. Competing for your dream. The money you're spending. Let me tell you guys, and I need you to hit the chat box again. The only thing, the very thing your dream wants from you, the only thing your dream wants from you is everything. Please type everything and tell me what is not in everything. Please type everything. Your dream wants everything from you. Everything from you. So if you can't say and tell, if you are not giving your dream everything, you're actually not committed to the dream. And many of you told me earlier how you felt neglected, right? And you felt the person wasn't, you were the one giving everything. Your dream is giving you everything, but you're not giving it everything. Your dream doesn't want some of your time. It wants all of your time. It doesn't want some of your money. It wants all of your money. It doesn't want some of your talent. It wants all of your talent. It wants you to be fully, singularly committed to it. Let me jump into the next. The second thing I believe that your dream wants from you is vision. Is vision. It wants us to have vision for it. If you're in a relationship and there is no vision, you know you're wasting your time. It doesn't just want you to have, I'm going to try and create this, it doesn't want you to have this snapshot or a screenshot of the vision of your future. I believe, and I think what your dream really wants is, it wants you to create a movie picture about it. You know, when last did you just take that dream and just create? Just bask in it and just dream. Your dream wants a start and not just that version. You know, when the dream comes, it's still in its embryonic stages. It wants an expanded picture. I know when Mary started with this project, and look at how it's expanding. It's no longer that thing you dreamt about. It's no longer just a wish. Yeah. All right, I'm not fighting you lot. You can do all your lashes and all that. That's perfect. That's all right. Your dream needs to know that you are going to be willing. All right, okay, thank you so much. Your dream needs to know that you are going to be willing to look for and search for and expand that vision. Folks, I had a mastermind, one of my masterminds this morning, and I'm pushing my clients to earn more this year. And after everybody did their numbers, and I told them put another zero after that, everybody started shaking. They couldn't. You can almost see that there's a mind block in actually having a vision for that kind of amount. Your dream needs to know you're just not going to just be committing to the small version that you had when you first had that dream. Listen, I've got goals in my life now that never even came into my awareness maybe 15, 20 years ago when I first probably started setting goals and things like that. The only reason why I have those goals now is because I've allowed my dreams and my vision to continually expand. As I grew in knowledge and my awareness, I expanded it. Hence why you just have to keep studying and hang around the right types of people. I didn't just kind of grow myself and then just leave the dream stagnant. No, and kind of live into that small still picture that I had initially. I want to turn my dream into a movie picture. Are you feeding your dream with vision? Is your dream still in black and white? It's, can you imagine TV that we had back in the day? Look at all the stuff that has happened. Look at the progress. That's what you do with vision. Let me jump into the next thing. Your dream needs, the second one, the dream needs to know that you are going to keep birthing it, keep expanding it. Third thing your dream needs from you is creativity. It needs your creativity. Your dream needs your creativity. What your dream needs from you is creativity. When we think about this word creativity, and somebody still said it to me on one of my calls this morning, say, I don't think I am a creative person. I don't know where we get that lie from. If you would allow me, it needs you to be creative in its growth, but it also needs you to be creative. Listen, so your dream needs you to be creative in its growth. It needs you to also be creative in your defending it. In your defending the life of that dream. There's no doubt about it. When you give birth to anything, when you give birth to this new dream, it's going to come under attack. It's going to come under attack. Life is going to happen. Many of us drop our dreams just like that. Life is going to happen. And it's not only going to come under attack from outside forces, right? It's going to come under attack from your own limiting self-belief. That's part of you in your subconscious mind, in your programmed behavior that is fighting to keep you in the status quo, to keep things away from you, that is trying to keep you small and keep you back in the past, just the way you are, just the way you used to be. In here, see, it will begin to sabotage your behavior as you begin to step beyond your current self-image. Ladies, write this, and I'm not going to get too deep into this. I'm not even going to get into this. This is a whole different teaching. You would never rise above your self-image. You will never rise above your self-image. It doesn't matter if you're Christian. Doesn't matter how much oil is poured on you and how much you pray. You would never ever rise above your current self-image. Right? So, but that's a whole different teaching. And I need you all to rise above that. Right? Do everything, because that self-image is going to fight everything to stop you from being all that you could ever be. You would never rise above your current self-image. So as you begin to step beyond your own self-belief, the old version of you is fighting for its life. Your old version is fighting for territory. Your old self is fighting to hold you back. And one of the ways it does that is through your limiting beliefs. You know what? It does it through fear, through doubt, through worry, through anxiety, through confusion, through COVID, through loss of jobs. So our dream not only needs us to be creative in the vision for what it could be, it needs us to be creative in how we defend and how we protect that dream. You have to be willing to defend and protect your dream. And I really think that probably the number one cause of death of all dreams is this: our inability to be creative. Our inability to be creative. The sad thing is that most people will make an agreement. This is one of the things I find with my clients. Most people will make an agreement and argue for not being creative. They will make statements like, I'm just not that creative guy. I'm not that creative person. Listen, I'm going to go into the good book. You were made in the image of the Creator. So the very first thing you were made was to be a creator. You were made in the image of the Creator. Therefore, if you were made in the image of the Creator, guess what? Somebody help me. I know you lot are smarter than me. If you were made in the image of the Creator, what are you? Can somebody hit the chat box? What are you? Help me. If you were made, you're creative, right? You're creative. Exactly. And so our dream needs us not only to be committed singularly to it, it needs us not only to be able to have a vision for its expanded growth, it needs us to be creative in how we would expand that vision and how we would defend it when life forces and things happen, how we would stand in our truth, how we would overcome every single obstacle internally and externally. Stop giving the excuses. This happened, that happened. Listen, it is life. Things are going to come and fight for that dream. But would you defend your dream? Would you defend your dream with your life? Or would you just, would you be one of the things killing it? Or would you sabotage it? Would you stand in that truth? How it needs you to be creative in how you overcome every single obstacle that would try and take that dream out. Number 4, because of time, I was going to say something else there about because of time. The fourth thing your dream needs from you is your growth. And this is something that is a bit strange but I don't think it's strange here, because if you're here this time, you're definitely a person of growth. Our dream needs to see that we are in a continual process of growing. Our dream, quite frankly, needs us, listen guys, to get better, to do better, and to be better. Your dream needs you to get better, to do better, and be better. I don't know if I'm going to finish this, but let me just tell you something. I tell this to my clients every day, and I want you to write this quote. It's by some rabbis on my wall somewhere. If you are not going to get better today, if you're not going to get better tomorrow than you are or that you were today, then what do you need tomorrow for? I didn't have this in my notes, but I just remember the quote, and I hope you got it. If you're on this call right now, and you are not going to be committed to being better tomorrow than you are today, why do you need to be here tomorrow? Why do you need to be here tomorrow? With your permission, if you are not going to be better tomorrow than you were today, listen, Shopper will know I'm a man of God. I can pray for you to sleep in your sleep tonight. Our world does not need people like you. With your permission, if you allow me, let's send you back to heaven. Our world needs people who are going to be committed to growing. Growing. I want to be a better version of who I am today. I want to be a better version of the person I am today. Our dream needs to see that we are in a continual process of growth. Continuous process of growing. It needs us to know that I am going to get better. I'm going to get more information. We have to ask ourselves, the ground that you're standing in right now, we have to constantly be evaluating ourselves and evaluating our territory. Where you are right now in your life, the relationship you are right now in your life, the job that you are in right now, the people you are hanging around, is it conducive for your growth? The friends you have, is it conducive for your growth? Am I going to grow is the question. Am I going to grow around the people I'm with? So well done for all of you on this call. Am I going to grow around the people I'm hanging with right now? Ask yourself these honest questions. The people that you call friends, the people you're spending time on the phone with, on the WhatsApp calls, on the late night calls, are they the type of people and friendship that is conducive for your growing? I've made a decision in my life to only surround myself with only quality people. Only quality people. In other words, I only have a limited amount of time, and I'm going to make the most out of every engagement of my time. The only reason why I'm here is because this is quality conversation. I'm aware of the type of people I'm going to engage. Moshokwe is a quality person. I would give my time for quality people. I do not just want to have quality people. Listen, I want to have quality everything, quality resources, quality systems, only quality environments you want to be in. In other words, you want to make sure that wherever you are, that whoever you're with at any time, whatever system you're working on, be it a computer, be it an iPhone, be it a software package, whatever it is, that it can allow you be better, that it can allow you to grow, that it would create that environment that is conducive for your growing, for your unfolding, only quality people and things. Yeah. You can, I cannot tell you the number of times I've talked to clients who will say, I hate my boss. Do you know my answer to such things? Quit. If you hate your job, quit. If you don't like it, quit. Stop going to the coffee shop you don't like. You don't like the grocery store. Stop. It's simple. It's just like that. If it doesn't feel right to you, you can't grow in that environment. Get out of that environment. Some of your friends you know are not good for you, but you're doing everything and spending all your energy trying to maintain it. Yes, you need to change that phone. There's one of my clients. We have a 1 hour session. We would spend almost 10 minutes trying to boot her laptop. Do you know how much time you are losing in that time? Let go. Quality stuff. Everything around you has to be designed to help make you a better person. I'm not talking about spending and buying all the unnecessary things out there. No. But when you do stuff, when you get stuff, you want things that would help you grow. You say you hate this computer, it's been acting like this for the past 3 months. It's time to throw it away or give it to someone who would appreciate it just as it is. Go get yourself a new one. Yeah? If the process doesn't work, if the resource doesn't work, get rid of it. If the relationship doesn't work, many of you said it, I didn't say. You know all that stuff you said earlier? If the relationship doesn't work, just in case you're married, let me balance this. It's either you commit to grow it or get out of it. If it's not working, commit to grow it or get out of it. But don't stand there in an environment that you can't grow in. I'm sorry. Don't stay in an environment you can't grow in. Make a new commitment. Look. Nah, let me not get into this marriage thing. Okay, let me move on to the next. Yeah, let's not get there now. And this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. Is it possible? I'm just gonna say this to just get you to think. I don't know. I'm sensing like somebody's in a horrible relationship or something. But anyway, is it possible for you to be stuck in quicksand with just one leg in it, and the other leg you're able to say climb Mount Everest? Can you help me in the chat box? Is it possible to be stuck in quicksand with one leg, and with your other leg you can climb, you can do some crazy things? Okay, let me just say that when you tell yourself that you are staying in that relationship for whatsoever, that's your feet in quicksand, and you're trying to build a business, you're trying to be the best at work, you're trying to succeed in other areas of your life. So if you got that, if you said nope, I rest my case there. If you're not fully free to grow in every single area of your life, then you can't fully grow in other areas of your life. It's not like you can silo your primary love relationship and say, I'm not really growing in my relationship. It's not alive in love, but I'm doing great at work. No, you're not. You're not doing great. You're getting by. You think it's great. But listen, fix that thing, and you find out that every other thing begins to get new meaning. Find yourself in an environment that would allow you grow. Get resources, get equipment, look at the people in your life, get around real quality people. And the really good way to test it is look at your life right now and say, the people, guys, this is for you. Let's not use the chat for this. The people that you call friends right now, the 5-10 people around you, can you tell where they're going? Are they going anywhere? Are they really going anywhere? If you want to know where you're going to be in the next 5 years of your life, stop right now and look at the people you're running with right now in your life. You would, and I know you lot know this, you would be the sum total of the 5 people you're closest to right now. You will be the sum total of the 5 people you're closest to right now. Your closest 5 people, the people that you interact with the most. So look at those people. I know you can see their pictures. Do you really want to be the sum total of those people? Do you really want to be? You'll be the sum total of the last 5 books you read, the last 5 seminars you went to. Guys, you have to be growing. I don't want to spend too much time. This is my juice area. Growth is a thing for me. You have to be committed to growing. And everyone on this call, I think you are committed to growing, which is why you are here. Hey, 10, 5. All right, cool, again. All right, okay, cool. Number 5, and maybe this is where we'll stop. I thought I'll get 10. All right, let's go. Your dream needs you to be in love with it, right? Is there any relationship without passion? Is there any relationship without passion? Your dream needs you to be in love with it. It needs you to be fully committed to it. You're waking up every single day passionately pursuing it with everything that is possible. All right. With everything that is possible, it needs you to pursue it. It needs you to protect it. It needs you to defend it. It needs your passion. It needs you to have that spark. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to really run fast. Do you have that kind of passion for your dream? When somebody asks you, hey, what are you working on? Do you light them on fire with your dream? Do they step back and be like, whoa? Do they have to like shut you up? Because you just can't stop talking about it. Because you were just all in it. You were just all about it. You were just so passionate about it. Listen, there's a different energy signature between for excited and passionate. 2 different things. Some people tell me they're excited, but they're not necessarily passionate. You could be excited about something and not passionate. Your dream needs that intensity. It's not excitement. It needs that intensity. Sometimes I just never told Shokwe, if I call Shokwe at the wrong time, I'm in trouble. She's probably hearing for the first time. And she probably picked it the last time I called. If I call Shokwe at the wrong time, Shokwe is awake around the kind of times I'm awake also. If I make a mistake to call Shokwe around 11, we may end up talking till 1 a.m. when I want to go and sleep. Because I would hear her passion. There's another friend of mine like that, Pastor Dami. Oh my God. If I make the mistake to call Pastor Dami at 2 a.m., thinking it's a 5 minutes call, we're going to be on that call for the next 2 hours. And what are we talking about? Dreams. You can feel the intensity. So the last time I was talking to Shokwe, I mistakenly called her and she started, if Shokwe, if you see what happened that night, and you started to end that call. I have to pick the time. I have to know that I have nothing else to talk about so that I can give the attention to that discussion. But that, guys, that is what your dream, that is what your dream needs from you. Your dream needs that from you. It needs to know that you are passionate about it, that you're going to fight for it, that you're going to do everything from it. When people hear you speak, they know that, no, this person is passionate about this. I'm going to give it whatsoever it takes. And for me, as a speaker, as a coach, as a trainer, as a facilitator, it should not be only, and this is what I hear a lot of people, it should not be only when you're about to speak that you're passionate. Listen, I did my parents' 70th birthday last night. I started working on my script at 2 a.m. I had to do a mastermind at 5 a.m. I'm not just going to show up here and say I've done this before. No. No. You in your practice, I want to see the passion. It's not just on the stage. At every time, the passion must be there. When you're writing your speech, when you talk about speaking, whatever it is your dream is. Yeah? All right. Remember, your dream is at first in the mind of God. Let me leave this bit. Let's jump. That's all that's deep stuff we're going to go in because of time. I think I've talked about 5 things, right? Commitment, vision, creativity. Are you guys going with me? Vision, creativity, growth, and passion. So question for all of you quickly. How are you doing on the first 5? Score yourself over 10. Quickly, jump in the chat box. Commitment, vision, creativity, growth, and passion. How are you really doing in the first 5? Quickly judge yourself. Quickly score yourself. Let me read some quickly. if I were to sit down right now and kind of have a cup of coffee, right? If I was to sit down right now and kind of have a cup of coffee with your dream, Nelly, and say, hey, hi, dream, hi, dream. Tell me, how do you think Nelly is doing? Is she committed? Is she passionate? Is she creative? You know, if I was to speak to Victoria's dream right now, would your dream tell me this stuff about you? And I really want you all to think about this. How, if I asked your dream right now, Timmy, and said, hey, tell me about Timmy's dream. Oh wow, and you just came at that point. Tell me about Timmy's dream. Do you think she's committed? Does she light you with fire? Is she passionate? Or is she just stuck on some kind of static picture? Does she fill you with passion? Guys, you were going to kick that man away, but look at what you're doing to your dream. Look at what you're doing to your dream, ladies. Look at what you're doing to your dreams. If I were to ask your dream right now, I know you're in a relationship with who now? Let me see the name. With Pearl. Do you feel? And I ask, are you feeling the love from Pearl? Do you feel like they wake up every single day and they just want to grab hold of this dream? Are you feeling the passion in the relationship with your dream? Because sometimes they just forget when they talk about you. Sometimes they don't even talk about you. Is there still a spark in the twinkle with regards to your dream? Does that dream need commitment? All right, let's jump to 6. I was beginning to go down that love line, but number 6, we're talking about what your dream needs from you. We're talking about being in a relationship with your dream. And we know what you want from your dream, right? You already know. You know what you want to get from your dream. And this is why we're now talking about what your dream now needs from you. A lot of the time, people are always talking about what you want from life. But let me tell you, life also wants something from you. And your dream is saying, number 6, I want your sacrifice. I need your sacrifice. Number 6 is sacrifice. Your dream needs you. Let me tell you, let me come here. You know, I'm married. I've been married 14 years. Let me tell you, one of the vows that hit me so hard was when I heard this line for the first time getting married. Forgetting all others, forsaking all others. I was like, what does that really mean? What does that really mean? Forsaking all others. I'm not doing well in that capacity because my phone and my wife are always fighting. Your dream needs your sacrifice. The law of sacrifice tells us that we must be willing to let go of things of a lesser value for the attainment of things of a higher value. You must be willing to let go of things of a lesser value for the attainment of things of a higher value. You have to be willing to let go of things. And the application of sacrifice is not about letting go of something or holding on to something. That's trading. That's different. The law of sacrifice is about us defining things. It's about you taking the time to define this relationship that you have with your dream. This passionate relationship, this growth relationship, this relationship that you need to be singularly committed to. Things that are of a lesser value needs to go. And the moment that you're willing to define your relationship with your dream and your dream as a higher value, then it's going to be really easy for you to let go of some of those things that are holding you back. Some of those habits that are holding you back, some of the procrastination that is holding you back, some of the limiting beliefs that hold you back. The law of sacrifice says we must be willing to let go of things. I want you in your notes, begin to write what you need to let go as a result of this conversation today. Let's not do it on the chart. What are you going to let go for your dream? Some of you need to let go of Netflix. You need to let go of sleeping too much. Sleep appropriately, but many of you sleep way too much. Until your dream is of a higher value, you would never really achieve that dream. You would need to surrender the things that are of a lesser value. And you won't even know what those things are. Yeah. All right, number 7, let me jump. And number 7, our dream needs our discipline. Number 7, your dream needs your singular commitment. It needs to know that it's got vision It needs to, and not just any ordinary vision. It needs us to have that living, breathing vision, and I don't think you can do number 1 to 6. I don't think you can do number 1 to 6 without 7. Number 7, it needs your discipline. And when we think of that word discipline, this is how I explain it, right? Discipline is found from, discipline is the word disciple, basically. And when we think of the word disciple, we think of someone who is loyal to us, right? Someone who is loyal to us. Someone who will do forever for us whatever it is that we need, right? So you're not only disciplined, but you are a disciple of your dream. Because if you're a disciple of your dream, you get up first, you go to bed last. You are disciplined. A disciple would probably take all of the first 6: commitment, vision, growth, sacrifice, passion, and probably put them all together. And you would kind of have the attributes that you would be expected for discipleship. Are you a disciple to your dream? Are you disciplined with regards to your dream? So if we turn that discipline or that discipleship into a defined behavior, it will be discipline. Your dream wants you to be disciplined. Our dream wants to know that it can depend on you. That when the tough times come, and they are coming, guys, they are coming. I can't start to tell you my story because I'll tell you take time. Tough times will come. When the tough times come, are you going to stand there and be disciplined? I had an experience in 2010. I lost properties. I lost 4 properties. My credit and my wife's credit are still impacted today, 10 years after, as a result of the things that happened in 2010. Because in the moment when my wife was in the hospital, tenants were calling me. My properties were being trashed, but my wife was in hospital. Every money, everything, businesses, everything that meant anything was insignificant because I had to stay there with my wife, the dream. Lost properties got trashed, tenants messed up my properties were repossessed. But the dream was the most important thing. For 6-8 months, hell, my family is still going through some of the repercussions from that year. But listen, life happens. My wife is still pushing through. I'm pushing through. The excuses or the credit file is not the reason for why I can't still get up. So tough times would come. I'm not here to tell you that tough times are not going to come. No. Tough times are going to come if you don't learn the discipline now to determine that it doesn't matter what life is going to throw at me. Listen, the guys are going to be crazy. The men are going to hurt you. Situations will happen. You may break out of a marriage, whatever it is. But listen, there's no divorce with your dream. So be disciplined now that whatever it is, I'll push through. I don't know how you could do some of these first 6 that I've mentioned without being disciplined. You can't. Your dream needs you over these next 12 months. And that's why I believe Shakespeare brought me here. As we begin to prepare for 2021, stop talking about what COVID did and what COVID did not do. There is still a whole year ahead of you. Are you going to be disciplined over the next 12 months? Are you going to be a disciple of the dream? Are you? That's what a disciple does. Right? Number 8. And that takes persistence. To be disciple, to be a discipline, to be a disciple takes persistence. Which is number 8. Number 8 is persistence. And this is not just persistence in behavior as it relates to character trait. No, it's not like determination. It's not the same. It goes a little bit deeper than that. It goes little bit deeper than that. Thanks, Dr. Chuck. It goes a little bit deeper than that. Persistence is more than just a character trait. It means we are going to show up. We are going to present ourselves. Even when we know the toughest times are there, we're still going to persist all the way. We're going to stand in the middle of challenges. We're going to stand in the middle of obstacles. I don't know if Shakpa has told her story when she started viSHEbility and all the stuff. And I'm watching from the outside and I see someone who's persistent. Her job could have just been out of the way. The dream could have just been out of the way. It was either going to be the job or she loses viSHEbility. But she found a way. That's what we're talking about. Many of us at the first sign of obstacle, boop, maybe it's not. And then we start using all these scriptures Start using all the scriptures to try and cover it. No. Fight for it. Fight for it. Are you going to be persistent in bringing the vision forward? In other words, when the plan that we are working on, listen, guys, I'm going to say something now. When the plan that we're working on goes to hell, and sometimes it does, don't go to hell with a plan. Stand by the dream. Look for another way. So many of us are committed to the plan instead of the dream. There are many ways to still make that dream. It's not always going to work the way you want it. Don't go to hell with your plan. Stand by the dream. Get a new plan. Yes, and then get a new plan. Let the plan go. Let the plan die. But persist in your pursuit of that vision. Persist in your pursuit of that dream. Stay singularly committed. And so when we talk about persistence, it relates to that being, that willingness to sacrifice all, to be disciplined, right? Number 8 is persistence here. Number 9 is a willingness to let go of old things. A willingness to let go of old things. A willingness to have a renewal of your thoughts. And that's what's happening with many of you as I'm speaking this evening. Be willing to have a renewal of your mind, to have a renewal of your thoughts, a renewal of your being. You have to be willing to let go of old patterns. Let go of old patterns of thoughts. You have to be willing to let go of old habits. You have to be willing to look at all those things that are holding you back from being your very best in a growth environment like this. Number 9 requires that you'll be willing to let go of people, let go of WhatsApp groups that are not serving you, let go of communities that are not serving you. Many of you are in the wrong churches, the wrong jobs, the wrong things. You have to be willing to let go. They say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, right? I get it. We must be willing to let go of things that are not serving us, systems, processes. You see people and hear people talk about the devil we know is better than the devil you don't know. You know what? And when people make those statements, I always wonder, but why do you want to be hanging around with the devil in the first place? The devil is the devil. I can understand the sentiment. Oh my goodness, it's such a hassle to make the change. Yeah, I get that. I'd rather just keep that person that go through the hassle of the change. Man, you're just that's hell you're going through. Somebody is not working. Bye. No hard feelings. I wish you well. The system is not working. Save up money and get another system. Let me move. Let me go to 10 because of time. See. Okay, I'm not going to say that. All right. So if I don't know why am I just keep feeling the draw towards trying to talk about relationship. I'm not going to now. Number 10. Our dream really needs us to have our best thinking. Our dream needs us to have our best thinking. And you know what? I don't know about you, but some of my best thinking has been done by other people. I surround my ideas around people. I know a lot of us have this thing about you don't share things, you don't share stuff with people and all that. That's nonsense. It's because you don't have quality people in your corner. When you have quality people, when you have quality friends, when you have big thinkers, you would know that you should be masterminding with the right type of people at all times. The type of people I'm mastermind with, I'm the worst person in the room. Look, if you are the smartest person in your room, you're in the wrong room. So I will tell you, I left my former church because even with the choir that I used to be, I'm in music. The moment I figured out, look, there was no other person better than me in this place. That was the day I knew I had to leave the group. If you're the smartest person in your room, it's time to leave that room. If you're the smartest person in your group, you're the smartest person in your community, it's time to change that community. Hang around people who are far better than you. Far better than you. So what I do, my best thinking, I run them around such people. And guess what? When I sit down with some of my mentors like Muyiwa, Pastor Smart, and some of these crazy people I have who are one of my mentors just had one of his companies listed on the stock exchange. How do you even think like that? How do you even think like that? If you know me very well, my branding is all Aaron T. Aaron. One of my other mentors looked at me recently and he said to me, Aaron, have you ever thought about what would happen if I'll say it. He said to me, have you thought about what about if you had a moral failure? And the first thing as a Christian, you want to say, God forbid. He said, are you aware that if you have a moral failure, that's the end of the brand, and that's the end of your business. That's the end of your earning. I'm like, my God, I would never come to think about such things. But when you hang around people who've seen life, people who are better than you, they begin to give you different perspectives. He said, you have to build a brand, you have to build yourself, but you also have to be building the business. Because if everything ever happened to the brand, you are still earning. But many people build the brand, and then if anything happens to that brand, they lose all their income. Look, in all my intelligence, I would never be able to think of that stuff. Just, that stuff came to me by the type of people you hang around with. So who is in your corner? The best of your thinking are done by people who are better thinkers. It said, if you've read Think and Grow Rich, it said concerning Henry Ford, everything we know about Henry Ford today was as a result of the people who were in his mastermind. So I believe this is a great community. Because of time, we're just going to end it here. I believe this is a great community. Hang around the people who will challenge you. When we give our dream these 10 things I've shared, I think our dream does what the law of reciprocity says or teaches, is that it gives back to you tenfold. It would return back to you. It's like the law of Titan. When you're committed to it, your dream gives you back all that you want and then expands that vision. I'll just bow out here. Shokwe, I hope this was a blessing to you all. Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay. I think we've all just been a little bit harassed, actually.
Not the intention.
I think we've all just been a little bit harassed. But guys, can we give great virtual claps to ATA for just coming through with the juice?
Thanks.
So we skipped the introduction at the start because of all of the timing and stuff. But you guys, if you're on the tribe, you got my voice note where I was like, this is a session you don't want to miss. If you got my emails, like I can't even explain to you. I joined one of Aaron's, one of your first actually, group coaching programs. And honestly, that session is the reason why I'm doing viSHEbility today. It's the reason why I left my company that I had been working with for like 10 years at the time. So, like when you hear some stuff that literally gives you your marching orders and you just start putting one foot in front of the other and you're like, okay, if I'm really going to say this thing is my dream, we're going to have to make a move.
Yeah.
And so like, honestly, thank you. Thanks, I cannot, I just feel like it's so needed in this time where again, as you say, we always talk about what do we want out of life, but really, where are we? Like, what should we be doing? And we are going to be our actions are going to be the biggest determining factor of not just our thoughts, but actually our actions. We can think forever and ever, but what do we actually do and where does it take us? And I think that's just going to be major. So as we go into 2021, I know 2020 has been weird. It's been challenging for many, but it's actually been an exciting time for others. So not everyone has actually been on the losing side in 2020. So in 2021, how do we take that forward? How do we still have hope and peace and great thinking and creativity, as you say, and just challenge ourselves in a new way? And I'm hoping that you guys all got that today. So I know we've run over. I do want to give time to just have a few. No, it's fine. We actually we started late because of all of the issues, but that, thank you so much for giving us the time. I know you literally have a mastermind right after this. But guys, if you have any questions, this is the time to drop it. Don't wait. There's not going to be anything else. So literally once we sign out, we sign out. I just think this was so good. So if you guys have any questions, this is the time to just quickly
I probably
drop.
can do 5 minutes.
5 minutes of questions.
10, maybe
so
10. Let's
get your questions in. I'm only gonna take the first maybe 2 really quickly. So but whilst we're waiting for a couple of questions to come in, to Aaron, what I wanted to say is like there's a lot of stuff here. As you said, like this has been a little bit of mind harassment for many. Even me, I'm like, oh my God. It's just lots. But what would you suggest if you were to say, like, if someone was to say to do one thing immediately, like practically? So after hearing all of this, what's that one thing they should do once they get off this call in order to kind of maintain, like, hold on to all of the stuff that you said?
All right. So what I don't want to do is, and this happens a lot. So what's going to happen now is you're going to, most times, and I tell people I don't want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be a motivational teacher. The one thing I think you all should do is not even something I talked about. The very thing that affects people when you hear stuff like this and you're buzzing, and then when you get out, you forget, is your environment. And a lot of people, so you can't be actively trying to change within and not be changing without. So how did I know Shokwe was serious? When Shokwe came to put your dream to the test, she literally, it's not so that it would not have worked for you if you didn't literally uproot yourself from where you were, right? So if you're changing within, you almost need to interrogate your external environment. When you then get on that journey, ideas begin to come to you. So whatever you've heard tonight is great, but the decision you need to make is you need to really interrogate your environment. Because like I said, it doesn't matter how much I tell you about a great relationship and that. If you're being abused at home, you're going back to the same thing. So you better fix the environment that would allow you grow. So sometimes I just turn my office around just intentionally because I have possibly just gotten adapted to how things are. So if you're going to, it's just, life is about movement. So you almost want to always be in that movement thing, so fix your environment and fix the internal. As you're growing, take action also on the external to make sure that things are changing. And that's what happened to you. So you change jobs, then viSHEbility came, and look at your growth because you are actively changing things. Other than that, you've had great teachings before then. You had gone to great seminars, right? But look at what happened to you as soon as you took action. And then, so because I'm a Christian, you would hear the words, the grace. It says, grace and mercy,
follow me.
Shall follow you, right? It does not follow the person that is in standing still position. No, if it follows the person who is in movement. So make sure you're constantly moving.
Okay, awesome. No, guys, honestly, I can't even tell you how different my life is since like that point. And a lot of things happened. My moves, like my career moves, my money moves, but it didn't come without sacrifice because in all these changes, like I've always talked openly about this, how I lost my dad really suddenly and how that literally toppled. And to the point where like I launched viSHEbility. Really quick story. I was supposed to launch viSHEbility on the 26th or 27th of January. And I just had this really strong urge, like, if you've already done everything you need to do, just go for it. Just there's no reason for you to like wait. It was supposed to be like the last Sunday of the month in 2019. And I had that in mind. It was just like, but I just had this really, really uncomfortable feeling of just, get it out there, get it done. And so we ended up just launching it on the 19th. It was a Sunday, but it was a Sunday preceding. We ended up launching it on the 19th of January, 2019. On the 23rd of January 2019, actually, we launched it. Aaron's daughter had a birthday that day. Oh, wow. So I launched it, went for Aaron's party. So we had a party. We hung out till all night. We were gisting, talking. Everybody was doing whatever. 3 days later, my dad died. Honestly, if I had not launched viSHEbility on the 19th, it would never have happened. Because the rest of my entire 2019, I was literally...
Okay, so it's good to hear that. It's good to hear that. Now, sorry guys, I have to always go into my faith. You know what happened to you? It's called, that scripture that says, the rod and your staff shall comfort you. Okay. Do you know what helped you go through the loss of your dad? That singular stuff.
Yeah. It's having it, stuff. Yeah.
That's it. If you probably would have exploded into depression. is in serious depression because you would have started to think about your life in all kinds of, but you see, that thing that had happened kept you going through that tough time. The keys,
Yeah.
people ask me, you 2010, you were strong, where your wife? I said, listen, if there was
Mm.
if I didn't have a vision, I'd have been on the bed with her. I would have been gone.
Yeah.
But your rod and your staff, your vision, your dream is what keeps you going when the tough time comes. Because then there is, listen, everything does not all go bad at the same time. That's, if whether you believe in the universe or God, one thing I've known is that everything does not go bad at the same time. There's always something that is working. So it better be your dream that is working. Because yes, all this may be going crazy, but you will still find that growth somewhere in that thing you've been building. That thing then gives you hope to keep coming. Your wish goes from, when I teach it from Think and Grow Rich, your wish goes from a wish and goes all the way to pulsating vision. Does your vision have a pulse? Can you feel it? Is it keeping you awake? It goes from there till it becomes an all-consuming obsession. Do you know what that means? When you get to the point where you burnt your bridges, say we're not going back. That's going through process.
That's when it's,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I have one question here, and
Yeah.
and that's going to be the last question I'm going to take is, would you say having more than one dream or vision is a sign of confusion? I'm sure you get this all the time.
So
as a multi-hyphenate, as those people who are like, they're good at so many things,
yeah.
what, how do they deal with that? Great question.
It's called the curse of the gifted, right? This requires a bit of interrogation, but this is how I see it. I want to hope that you've gone bowling before, and I'm just going to try and explain it this way. I can explain it in many ways. I can explain it from scripture. If you're a Christian, the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and every other thing will be added. That's from scripture. Let me also try and explain it from natural things. When you go play bowling, if you can come off mute to anybody and help me with this so that we're quick. When you go bowling, what's the purpose of bowling? Anyone? What's the purpose of bowling?
To hit the ball with the pin?
Okay.
Or hit the pin with the ball?
The other way around. To strike the thing.
To strike the thing. Okay.
Yeah,
to get a strike. So what is the process of getting a strike, right? Is all the pins should go down, right? To knock all of them down. Now, do you know what the process of knocking all the pins? So sometimes you hit the ball, you will hit 3 balls, right? Or 3 pins. And then sometimes you hit the pin, you will hit 4 pins or 2 pins. But all of a sudden you would actually hit 1 pin that knocks the next, that knocks the next, that knocks the next, that knocks the next. And then you find out that everything is come down. The whole thing about dream or vision too, no. All I do with my clients is, let's find the one thing you're supposed to be doing that fixes all the other. So I have clients who come and tell me, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to lose it, And then when I'm interrogating, I find out they don't have a job. I'm like, okay, leave this weight thing. Because if you get a job, right? If you get a job, then you can pay for the gym. Then you can at least, to do vegan meals is not cheap. Right? Exactly. So can we first get you a job? Right? I'm not saying you're not going to have your weight loss plan and all that, but can we find the first thing you should focus on right now that would then help every other thing to align? So that's why I said it always requires a bit more interrogation, because when I'm working with a client, I'm going to have to dig deep into every area, right? Because, so I'm a singer. If you knew me 10 years ago or even 4 years ago, I'm an artist, right? It hasn't changed, right? But I do a lot of other things. Now I'm very clear about why I'm an artist. Artistry brings people, is the one place where people like and trust me. Then when you come into my world, you find out I do all these other things. So you have to almost identify what's the one thing you really need to be focusing on that then helps you reach all the others. I hope that helps.
Wow. Even me, I'm like, oh, yes. Yeah. No, that was good. So thank you so much, Aaron, for joining. God bless you. Thank you as you leave. Yay. Guys, say thank you. Oh my God. Wasn't that awesome? Sorry, Aaron had to run because he literally is jumping into another mastermind session. But wow. And feel free to unmute yourselves as well. Like, wow, that was a lot, wasn't it? Oh gosh. So yeah. Guys, I'm really excited for 2021. Remember that your dream needs all those 10 things: your commitment, your vision, your creativity, your growth, your passion, your sacrifice, your discipline, your persistence, your it needs a renewal of your mind, and it needs you to have your best thinking. So I'm really excited for 2021. Look out for the recording. For those who attended, I would share the recording, but only with those who attended. So I have a list of people here who actually joined. And so you guys will get it. All the best for 2021. And I'll see you in the chat room. If you're not part of the viSHEbility tribe and you do want to join the chat room, feel free to go to www.viSHEbility.com/VB tribe, and you'll be right in there and you can get all of the information. If you are a member of the tribe, please go into the chat room now and just talk about just how amazing this session was. Like, phenomenal, right? So yeah, I just have so much to think about, and I'm sure you guys do as well. However, I can support you with your thinking, with your growing, with your challenge. Feel free to contact me if you want to book a one-on-one session with me. Also do that on the website, viSHEbility.com/academy. And we can connect and kind of help you take some of your strategic thinking forward for 2021 as well. So with that, I would say thank you so much. Good night. Have a great week ahead, and enjoy the rest of your 2020. Take care. Thanks, guys. Thanks.